Channel 12 Sports presents coverage of high school baseball. Today a non-conference matchup featuring the Hopkins Royals and the Maple Grove Crimson. Hopkins coming in 3-3 on the season. Maple Grove 2-3. From Hopkins High School, John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson. Last Friday of April, and Ryan, it's been kind of an unusual spring, much like last year. Not quite as harsh as far as the weather, but certainly both teams have had to deal with not getting all their games in. And today's game actually scheduled to play at Maple Grove, and they deemed early in the afternoon, and field was unplayable, so they move it down to Hopkins here.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, just being a Minnesotan, and especially a baseball fan, just having sun, 60 degrees, it's a little windy out here, but I think everyone's just happy to be on the field and get a game in. A lot of these guys are, delayed or missed a couple games, so it's just a great feeling to get back and have some decent weather.
So Hopkins today will be the visitor, as this game was supposed to be played at Maple Grove. Max Wiesner will lead it off, the catcher. He'll be followed by shortstop Eric Wickland. Jimmy Koppels, the first baseman. Lokan Ottman, the right fielder. Josh Gallup, the DH. Bubba Horton's first pitch is low. The rest of that batting order, Tommy Gleason at third. Sam Niedorf batting seventh and playing second base. Joe Nelson in left. And John Cook, the center fielder, batting ninth and playing center field. There's a strike call, 1-1 to Max Wiesner, the leadoff hitter, the catcher for the Royals.
Well, I think this top half of the inning for Charlie Horton, he's only a ninth grader, John. He's a lefty. He appeared in one other game, did not retire a batter in that game. So I think him getting off to a good start, like we said, he's young. Getting that first out, whether it's a strikeout, a ground, whatever it might be, just getting off to a good start can really do wonders for a ninth grader's confidence.
1-1 pitch hit out in the left field, and it's a base hit. Max Wiesner came into the game hitting .350, 7 for 20 on the season, with a base hit to start the ball game. Look at the Maple Grove defense today around the infield. Nate Erickson at first, Mason McMahon at second, Isaac Collins at short, and Matt Vogel at third. Austin Matheson, got Keebleback and Adam Brandt from left to right in the outfield. Blake Whitecotton is the catcher, and Bubba Horton, the pitcher.
Well, we talked to Coach Darby Carlson from Maple Grove. We said, tell us a little bit about Horton. What's he do? What does he throw? And he said, hopefully straight was his answer. So I think getting the young guy on the mound, you just want to get him some experience. You'll get him used to playing in a varsity level. And he's got a variety of pitches. So, and he's left-handed, which is always, something different, as the majority of the pitchers are right-handed. But I think getting that first out here is going to be big for him.
Eric Wickland comes in batting .333. He's the number 2 hitter for Hopkins, takes a strike.
And you can see Hopkins' strategy is take pitches, make this youngster throw strikes, get his control. Let's see if he's got his nerves under control.
Go to first. Wiesner wasn't terribly far off the bank.
Well, how about this, too, just for Hopkins, how important it is for them getting off to a good start. Their 2 games that they lost, John, they scored a total of about 8 runs of the two games that they've won.
The fair ball. Go to first, and they got him at first on a close play. Good play by Blake Whitecotton. Grabbed that ball as it looked like it may stay fair. He thought, well, I got to make a play here, and throws to Nate Erickson and gets Eric Wickland by a step.
Well, Erickson did a nice job of coming down and making sure he landed on the base right there. I'll tell you, I watched Whitecotton warm up in their warm-ups. God, does he have a bullet arm? I would not try to steal on him. He's a big, strong kid, and he's got a really good-looking arm as a catcher.
And there's a strike call to Jimmy Koppels. He's the left-hand hitting first baseman, hitting in the number 3 slot today for Pat Berger and the Royals. Koppels on the season hitting .444. 5 runs batted in. This one gets to the backstop, and up to third base goes Wiesner on the wild pitch.
And that's a big run right there, a big pass ball or error by the pitcher, a wild pitch, because any fly ball now has a chance to get that first run on the board. So those are the little things. As you get more comfortable, in your varsity career, you start eliminating those free extra bases for the opponent.
Runner third with 1 away, and the pitch to Koppels outside.
And this Hopkins offense really exploded. 20 runs in the last 2 games. Their bats finally come to life.
Fouled back out of play.
We heard a big part of that, just their patience, their pitch selection. They weren't swinging at first pitches. They've been a lot more selective, making pitchers throw strikes, you know, getting in positive counts 3-0, 3-1s where they can swing the bats freely.
Horton's 2-2 pitch called strike 3, and Koppel's rung up for out number 2.
Great looking pitch by the freshman right there. Paints the outside part of the plate on a fastball in the 3-2 count. That's a big time pitch for the 9th grader.
Brings up Logan Ottman, the right fielder, cleanup hitter. Lefty versus lefty. And the freshman Horton with the pitch, missed for ball 1.
Well, just to give you an idea too, Koppel's batting .444, second on the team with 5 RBIs there. For him to go down on a called 3rd strike, very uncharacteristic of him.
Oh, whistled foul just past the dugout.
It's one of those you always hope the people in the dugout are paying attention. Right. Especially with a left-handed batter on the third base side dugout like that, you got to pay attention.
Fouled away. Horton gets ahead in the count on Ottman.
Well, how about Horton, you know, giving up that leadoff single, having a wild pitch, runner on third, 1 out. Since then, strikeout. Looks like he's got very good control of his pitches.
Ball hit in the air out into left field. Matheson drifting to the line, makes the catch in fair territory for out number 3. So they get the leadoff single for Wiesner, but unable to bring him in. No runs on the hit, and 1 left on for Hopkins. We look at the batting order today for the Maple Grove Crimson. Adam Brandt, the right fielder, leading off. Jack Keeblebeck in center. Then Isaac Collins at short. Blake Whitecotton, the catcher, hits 4th. Matt Vogel at 3rd, batting 5th. Nate Erickson is at first base. Kyle Anderson, the DH, hitting for the pitcher Horton. Mason McMahon at 2nd, bats 8th. And Austin Matheson, the left fielder, batting 9th. And the defense for Hopkins today: Jimmy Koppel's at 1st, Sam Niedorf at 2nd, Eric Wickland at short, Tommy Gleason at 3rd, Joe Nelson, John Cook, and Logan Ottman in the outfield. Max Wiesner, the catcher, for Robbie Palkert. And Palkert on the season, the junior, 1-0, an ERA of 1.00. And look at the strikeouts, Ryan. 10 strikeouts in 7 innings pitched.
My question is, why haven't the Twins called him up yet this year? But kind of, you know, contrasting styles, John, to Charlie Horton. You know, here's a junior who's got experience. This guy's got 4 different pitches. He's got excellent command of all 4 of them. He throws in the mid to high 80s, so he can bring the cheese as well. So he's a very polished pitcher. And, of course, coming off a great first start where he had a complete game, gave up the 1 earned run. And I think what's big, John, at this level is if you got 4 different pitches that you can go to for your strikeout pitch, you know, that's when you get 10, 12, double-figure strikeouts in a game, you know, rather than just relying fastball, changeup. And we talked to their coaches. He's got command of that, a really good curveball as well. So it'll be fun to watch him play. And like any great pitcher, Maple Grove, you want to get to him early. See if you can get some early pressure, maybe an early run or 2, and get him out of his comfort zone where he gets into a rhythm. He's going to be tough to hit.
Maple Grove, like Hopkins, with 2 straight wins coming into this game. And Coach Carlson told us they really didn't hit well as a team first 3 games, hitting just 167. But they've picked it up with the bat the last couple of games, and that continues here in Game 3 with Adam Brandt with a first pitch and leadoff single to start the bottom of the first for Maple Grove.
Yeah, I love that. Leadoff hitter, aggressive right away. Sees a fastball that he likes, and right back up the middle. Nice, pure, level swing right there, and he got great contact on it.
That'll bring up Keeblebeck. He'll lay down a bunt. Nicely done. Fielded by Palkert. And he'll throw to first to Koppels. And Maple Grove uses the bunt very well. Sometimes as an offensive weapon. They'll bunt, try to get the guys in the defense to throw the ball around. This time simply to advance the base runner, and Keeblebeck does his job, branched out at 2nd.
That reminds me of shooting free throws in basketball, John. They're little things, but good teams execute that. You know, first pitch, left-handed bunter, he laid it perfectly down the third baseline and actually almost beat the throw out to get a single. But now you got a runner in scoring position with the heart of your order coming up. I mean, that's just great execution.
Isaac Collins, the batter and takes a strike. Collins off to a slow start. He's a good ball player, but just hitting 143 so far this season through the season's first 5 games.
He's a great athlete, too. He's a shortstop. He covers a lot of range. He's got a great arm. He thought that ball was a little inside there, and you can see one of the 4 pitches that Palkert has right there is he dropped some cheese, a little curveball, and that had some good movement on it.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Collins.
And this is where great pitchers, you get them, if they get ahead in the account, a lot of times they can shut the door.
And a called strike 3, and Collins is out. Out number 2, first strikeout for Palkert.
Well, too, when you have a multiple, plethora of pitches to go to, you get a batter start thinking, okay, I'm down in the count. He's going to throw a curveball or a slider or something. That time he brought the fastball inside part of the plate and just froze him. You can see he's throwing, mid to high 80s there. I don't have my gun with me though to clock it.
Like Whitecotton, the number 4 hitter, the catcher, takes a first pitch strike. Whitecotton has started pretty well at the plate. .333 average, 5 for 15 on the season. A double and a home run and 2 runs batted in. Grounds this one. Nice play by Palkert coming off the mound. Fields it, throws to Copples at first for the out, and the side retired for Maple Grove. They get a leadoff hit as Hopkins had in the top of the first. They strand the runner though, and we have played 1 here at Hopkins. Our score, no score. Hopkins at Maple Grove. More baseball on 12 Sports after this.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
With Ryan Iverson, John Jacobson, a little bit of a breeze on this Friday afternoon, but otherwise a decent day. Certainly the best day of the week for playing a game today. Had a couple days of rain and cool early in the week.
Well, I'll tell you what's unfair. We were in Florida, John, our family, a couple weeks ago, a month and a half ago. And their high school teams were, 10, 15 games into the season already. So you really, obviously with the gyms being open now, a lot of this, spring baseball is done inside a gym. So it's just great to be outside.
Fouled back. Josh Gallup is the DH, hitting for the pitcher Palkert. He leads off for Hopkins here in the second against Bubba Horton. Tommy Gleason, Sam Niedorf to follow Gallup here in the second. Skips in the dirt.
I'll tell you what I like that Charlie Horton's doing that he did not do the first time he pitched this year is he's going at it. He's getting strikes early. And he may not strike them out. They may still get a hit, but at least you're getting that advantage. You're getting that confidence of being ahead in the count. And you pitch a lot differently when you have that.
Well, he unfortunately, though, hits Gallup on a 1-2 pitch here. And the leadoff hitter aboard for Hopkins for a second straight inning. So Gallup at first as you look at the pitch from Horton again.
That's one of those rib shots right there, John. I know I've had that hit me many times, and it does not feel good. Usually the day after is when the bruising starts. But tough kid, and hey, you're getting on base, which is your job as a leadoff hitter in an inning.
Tommy Gleason bunting, pops it up in the air, and Whitecotton can't get back to the fence. And it's strike 1 against Gleason.
You can hear chants of Bubba, John, from the crowd. Charlie Horton, his teammates, a lot of the fans call him Bubba. That sounds like a big league pitcher's name. So.
Gleason showing bunt again, but the pitch is high, and he takes it for ball 1.
But you can see Austin Matheson playing in at third base, expecting that bunt down the third base line.
Let's see what Gleason does here. Again, showing bunt, and I think he meant to pull the bat back, but it went off his bat, so that's a foul ball. Came inside and off his bat, so a break for Horton and the Crimson. That goes as a strike against Gleason. Now a 2-2 count. This ball just a touch high, count is full.
Well, this is where the youngster Horton just has to worry about throwing strikes. You know, put the ball in play, make Hopkins put some wood on it rather than giving up a walk like that.
So a hit batsman and a walk to start the second inning for Hopkins. Gleason aboard first. Gallop down to second base, nobody out. And Sam Niedorf, the batter.
Well, this is a situation. Niedorf coming in, only batting .214. He's got 1 RBI. Do you bunt here or move those runners, into scoring position for the?
I would think you'd take at least one shot at it.
Yeah.
Throw showed bunt, but takes a pitch inside corner for a strike.
Well, and a lot of times too, for those of you that watch baseball, a coach is going to call that, and they'll show bunt just to see what the defense is doing, what they're going to respond with, and I will see if they go back to it here a second time.
They do, gets it down. Oh, Horton able to snag it out of the air. It's a double play at second base. A little soft liner. Bubba Horton makes the play, and the runner gallops too far off the base, and he's doubled off at second.
Well, what a play. Watch Horton here. He's already leaning to the third baseline, so he was already over there. It looked like it was a perfectly placed bunt that just had in the air just a little too long, and heads-up play by Horton to get the runner out at second.
Collins covering at second for the double play, so suddenly for the Royals, 1 on but 2 out, and the runners at first base.
John, we talked about execution. We saw Maple Grove lay down a perfect bunt there in the first inning, and think how different if that bunt would have gone down. You have runners on second and third with 1 out. Instead, just a runner on first, 2 outs. A totally different situation.
Joe Nelson, the left fielder, the batter, grounds it to the pitcher. Horton up with the throws to first and gets out of the inning. So started promising for Hopkins, but they end the inning, no runs, no hits, and they leave 1. We played an inning and a half. No score. Hopkins in Maple Grove.
I never thought I'd miss you half as much as I do. It must be love, love, love. It must be love, love, love. Nothing more, nothing less. Love is the best.
It must be love. It must be hospice.
Maple Grove, New Hope, and Brooklyn Center. Channel 12 is your local source.
When it comes to TV channels, you've got choices. As a matter of fact, you've got lots of choices. But only one channel is your local source in your community every day, bringing you the news, sports, events, and city information that affect you. So seek out the source. Channel 12, 30 years your local source.
No runs, a hit for each team through an inning and a half as Maple Grove comes to bat here in the bottom half of the second inning. Matt Bogle, Nate Erickson, and Kyle Anderson facing Robbie Palkert.
Well, how about a start, too, for Charlie Horton, the freshman, 2 innings, got into a little trouble, give up a hit, had a walk, hits batsman, but still able to make a great double play and a nice heads-up play in the field to get out of it.
Over Palkert, kind of a slow roller at second, no chance at second base for Niedorf to make a play. It'll be an infield single for Matt Vogel.
Vogel's got good speed. That was a slow hit ball. That's a hard play. A second baseman charging up. If they can't clean that, field that cleanly, that transition from glove to ball to hand, that especially with Vogel's speed, that's usually going to be a base hit.
Nate Erickson, the batter, shows bunt, gets it down nicely right in front of the plate. Low throw, but in time and handled by Copples at first on the throw from Wiesner. But another sacrifice from Maple Grove. Looks like Kiebelbeck executed in the first. Erickson able to do it here. As you'll get Darby Carlson, has been the head coach since the school opened in the year 96-97. So now his 18th year as head coach of the Crimson. Was at Osseo before that. And great success with this Maple Grove program over the years. State runners-up just a couple of years ago in Class 3A. Kyle Anderson, the batter, he is the DH hitting for the pitcher Horton. With Vogel in scoring position down at second with one out. And this one gets to the backstop. It'll be a wild pitch, and Vogel scoots down to third.
Well, and that takes a lot of pressure off you as a batter. You got to run on third, one out. All you have to do is get the ball to the outfield, get it up in the air, get the ball to the outfield. You got Vogel at third, who's got pretty good speed. And I always think, too, even though this is considered a home game for Maple Grove, you're on the road. If you can get a run first, get this, be the first team on that scoreboard, that's always a big plus.
Ground to the right side. This will get the runner home. Copples will take it himself, but Kyle Anderson will pick up an RBI, and the ground out to first. Vogel is in, and Maple Grove's on the board first.
Yep, nice job there. He hit it slow enough where there's really nothing. Hopkins, was not playing in to prevent the run. They were going to give up the run on a ground ball, and they took care of the out. But Maple Grove, in their 2 losses, John, they scored 2 runs. In their 2 wins, they've scored 15 runs. So a really good sign here to get on the board first.
First pitch swinging is Mason McMahon. Hits it back to Palkert to Copples at first for the third out. But Maple Grove strikes first. They get a run in the inning on a hit. And after 2 innings here at Hopkins, our score now, Maple Grove 1, Hopkins nothing.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Welcome back to Hopkins High School. We move to the top of the 3rd inning. Maple Grove scratching out a run there in the bottom of the 2nd. They take a 1-0 lead. John Cook, Max Wiesner, and Eric Wickland for Hopkins. John Cook, although he is batting 9th, he has had a terrific start to the season. He's just a sophomore, hitting .632 coming into the game. He is 12 for 19 at the plate, 7 singles, 2 doubles, 2 triples, a home run, 21 total bases for this young man so far in 6 games.
Well, and 5 RBI too, and that's why guys in the top of the order have a lot of RBIs. He's on base quite a bit of the time, so that's an excellent asset to have as your 9th hitter, guy batting .632.
Coaches sometimes like having those guys at the bottom of the order. They can treat him almost like a second leadoff hitter for them.
I can tell you, I love just watching his swing. You can see where his power comes from. He's not a real big guy. He's tall, not very big, but he turns his hips really well. Do you see that power, that rotation in his hips? We have a front row seat here right behind the plate, but watch his hips as he turns, John. You can see the power he's got in him.
Laces him out into the right center field gap. This will be A single, maybe two. He's got good speed, and he'll hustle into second with a stand-up double. So he'll be fooled by the number 9 placing in the batting order. He's hitting .650. That's his third double of the season.
Well, watch his hips, his drive. He didn't try to pull that ball. He went with the ball. The ball was on the outside part of the plate, and he just drove it opposite field. That's what good hitters do. They don't make their swings. They go where the pitch takes them, and then they drive it in that direction. Excellent hit right there.
So leadoff runner on for Hopkins for the third consecutive inning. Cook at second, Max Wiesner, the batter.
And I'd say, too, this could be a situation where you might bunt to get the run over, but Max Wiesner is one of their best hitters, their leadoff hitter, batting .350. He's got 6 RBIs. I think you let him swing away and see what you can get.
Pitch is low. You'll get Pat Berger, first-year head coach, but it was an assistant to Neil Lerner for 9 years and has been with the program for a long time, knows all these guys. His first year as the guy in charge of our head varsity coach, and had some good talent on this team. It's a matter of putting it together and getting that consistency. And a lot of teams struggle with that, especially it seems like in baseball early in the season when you're trying, like you had said, especially this year, not many practices outside before you had to start playing games, and hard to get guys in a rhythm early on often.
Well, I'll tell you, too, and this is no disrespect to anyone that is on the baseball teams, but a lot of these guys are basketball, football, hockey players, and they're coming over and they're banged up from the winter season. It takes some time to kind of get back into that routine, and then you mentioned the weather and being indoors. Baseball is played at its best when everyone's in unison, when everyone knows where everyone's going to be. There's trust, between the pitcher, catcher, between all the positions. So I think that develops as the summer goes on.
Wiesner following it back. Count still full, 3-2 to Max.
I like Max Wiesner. He's got quick hands. He turned on those pitches in a hurry, and you get guys that got good quick hands, strong hips. That's when you get good drive off the bat.
Pitch from Horton, hit in the air out to center. Little blooper, tough play on the run, and making the catch out in center field is Keebleback.
Well, great effort. That is so tough to do. For any of us older guys that played softball, when you're trying to run down a fly ball, running full speed like that in the sun, that just takes great effort, great concentration, and an excellent play and a big out, too.
Wiesner retired. Cook held at second. Wickland up for his second time today. No for 1 on the day. Takes a pitch high, and Whitecotton's going to come out and talk to Bubba Horton.
Yep, nice move, strong move by Whitecotton, who's one of the leaders on this team. He's a senior, 6 foot, almost 200 pounds, big, strong catcher. He senses his youngster, his freshman, getting a little raffled to say, hey, playing catch, me and you, playing catch. Forget about the runner on second. Just concentrate on the batter. Let's get one more out here. One out at a time.
2-0 pitch, fouled off by Wickland. 2 balls and a strike. Wickland, the senior, starting shortstop. Trying to drive in Cook with his team's first run of the game. Grounded foul.
That ball looked high and away right there. If he would have let that one go, it could have been in a 3-1, which is great hitters count. Instead, chased that one, and now we're 2-2. Great job, great battle so far. Charlie Horton coming back after being down 2-0 in this count.
Two pitch, called strike 3.
Big time pitch. Inside corner part of the plate. What a nice pitch. What a great answer, Charlie Horton. Whitecotton went onto the mound, told him something to calm him down, to just, come on, focus on this. Brings the heater. You can see that just off the inside part of the plate. Nice big time pitch. Fastball inside half, called third strike.
2 away, and the batter is Copples. A little bit low.
Good eye by Copples. Looked a little bit low. Lefty versus lefty.
One-0 pitch is a called strike.
I'll tell you, since White Cotton went out and had a word with him, Horton's been throwing strikes. I think that was the biggest thing. He just said, calm down and just get, focus on each pitch. Just play catch with me. Don't worry about that guy on second base.
Just missed again. Now on the count 2-1.
And Copples, not a very dangerous hitter, batting .444, 5 RBIs coming into the game. So he could definitely do some damage here if you're not careful with him.
Fouled off on a high pitch. And
you can see the frustration on Copples. He knew that was not a good pitch to drive, and he swung, went after it, chased it. And again, just like the last batter, instead of 3-1 in the hitter's count, now you got 2-2.
A little bit low. White Cotton stays in front of it.
Yep.
Keep Cook at second. The count full, 3-2.
Yeah, excellent job. As a catcher, I coach young kids in baseball, and a lot of them reach for those balls. A great catcher gets up and is able to move his whole body in front of him. Even if you don't catch it clean, you knock it down, so you're not letting that runner advance. Oh.
Copples hits this one into right center field. That's a base hit. Cook around third. He'll score. We're tied up. Runner stumbling, getting back to first, though, is Copples. He's got an RBI single, and it's 1-1.
That was right in Copples' wheelhouse. Take a look at this pitch, John. Low and inside, right where Copples could drive that ball. And he roped it to left center. Excellent job by Kebblebeck just to cut that off and hold Copples with a single. But either way, we're all tied up.
Copples, his 6th run batted in of the season. Draws a throw over to first. Logan Ottman, the batter. Flew to left to end the first inning.
Well, he's batting .333, John, with 3 RBIs. And, you think, too, maybe one of the reasons Darby Carlson went with young Charlie Horton is because of the lefties in the Hopkins lineup that can do damage. Maybe thinking that would be an advantage for his young pitcher.
Grounded past second into center field. Keeble back up with it. It got under the glove of McMahon at second. It's a single. 3 hits in the inning now for Hopkins. Copples to second. Ottman aboard at first.
Yeah, and that was a well-hit ball, no question about it. McMahon looked like he might have been there in time, just maybe the glove came up a little bit, the ball went right under it. It's a little 2-out rally here by Hopkins.
Batter's Gallup, and he rips one up the middle off the glove of the shortstop. Collins then to center field, the runner coming home, and it's 2-1 Hopkins. RBI single for Gallup. Copples is home, and Hopkins has strung together 3 straight singles to take the lead.
Yeah, another nice solid swing, and again, just off the glove. Great effort by Collins, who gave it a great dive, and just off the side of his glove. That's back-to-back singles. That the fielders for Maple Grove are right there. It really is. It's a game of inches. And just like that, it's a 2-1 Hopkins lead.
Gleason takes a strike. Another strike call.
Good answers, good responses by the youngster Charlie Horton. Get ahead 0-2, and Tommy Gleason, he's struggling on the year, batting 0-27. Does have a couple RBIs though.
This one past the mound. Collins up with it. Throw to first in time. Nice play by Collins. Retire Gleason and Hopkins in the 3rd inning. But they bat 7. They get 2 runs on 4 hits. They leave 2. We go now to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Our score, Hopkins 2, Maple Grove 1.
Yeah, but did you see how much he had to drink last night? I can't believe that guy made it home. Nobody drives drunk anymore. Hold on, I got another call coming in.
While drunk driving rates have dropped greatly, negligent driving and speeding fatalities have skyrocketed. Someone dies every 13 minutes from negligent driving, so keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and your phone put away.
The environment is my passion. Every day, I live for the outdoors and all of its challenges. That's why I enlisted in the Coast Guard. Now, I serve to protect the environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at gocoastguard.com.
We are back at Hopkins High School. John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson as we go to the bottom half of the third inning. Austin Matheson, the number 9 hitter from Maple Grove, to lead it off. He'll be followed by Adam Brandt and Jack Keebleback. Robbie Palkard's first pitch, grounded foul.
You can see a little bit late on that. That's the fastball, that mid to high 80s that we talked about by Palkard. And one of the things I always loved as a pitcher, John, was coming out on the mound after your team responded and got you a lead. You know, it could completely change your confidence level, the way you'd attack hitters. You know, knowing that your guys got your back and they got you a couple runs and got you that lead.
Palkard getting ahead, 2 strikes on Matheson to start the third. And the pitch is grounded to first. Came up hard on Copples, but he makes the adjustment, makes the play at first, and retires Matheson unassisted.
Yeah, nice play by Copples to just get in front of that, and that's always everyone's nightmare. I've had a couple of those bounce up and get you in the face, but great job getting in front of it and quick hand reaction to stay in front of it and keep that ball. Nice play.
Back to the top of the order, and Adam Brandt. Leadoff single to start the bottom of the first for Maple Grove. First pitch to him here missed. And the count evens 1-1 after the foul. Ooh. Cutting a miss. Good pitch from Palkard.
Yeah, it was. I love coming with that little slider or change up after a fastball, too. You get the batter completely thrown off his timing and his rhythm. Now you got him guessing. And now with 4 strikeout pitches, this is when he's really dangerous. He came with a curve, and you could see Wiesner wanted to call third strike right there, but did not get it.
Count goes to 2-2. Pitch to Brandt, cutting a miss. There's the strikeout. His second.
Well, and what was different about that is Palkard, his first pitch of the at bat was a curve. The second one was a fastball, and the batter was completely on that. He fouled it backwards. But then by throwing that off-speed pitch, you see how much faster his fastball looked there. You know, just a great job of keeping hitters off balance.
Pitch high and away to Keebleback. Keebleback with a sacrifice bunt in the first inning, fouls it away.
Yeah, he had a great bunt. They weren't able to capitalize on it, but it was an excellently placed bunt down the third baseline.
Palkard looking in and delivers just a little high. Foul at the plate. It's a good thing for Hopkins that wasn't foul, because they would not have gotten Keebleback perhaps coming out, although Wiesner did pop out of that catcher's box pretty quickly. But it's a foul ball. It's 2-2. Palkard's pitch. Cut and a miss, so he strikes out the last
Great
two
look.
batters.
Excellent location, too. That was outside and high, right where his catcher set up. Great spot in the ball right there.
3 up and 3 down for Maple Grove in the third. We go to the fourth inning. Our score, Hopkins 2, Maple Grove 1.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
E-File. Get receipt confirmation and a quicker refund. Log on or tell your tax preparer to e-file for you and join the 53 million e-filers who consider it done.
We move to the top half of the fourth inning. Hopkins will take a 2-1 lead into the top of the frame. I thank Ryan Iverson for his help on today's telecast. He had to duck out a little early, so I'll take you the rest of the way here as we move to the fourth. And again, the reason Hopkins at home is the visiting team. This game originally scheduled to be played at Maple Grove High School, but they determined early this afternoon that that field was still unplayable. Didn't rain well with the rain we had the last couple of days, so they scrambled, moved it down here, and pushed the start time back about an hour, and we're getting it in here at Hopkins in the top half of the fourth inning. Ground ball hit to the right side, fielded by McMahon over to Erickson. Nicely played by Maple Grove in the field, and Niedorf has retired 4-3 to start the fourth. Two runs on 5 hits for Hopkins. No run, or 1 run on 2 hits for Maple Grove through 3+ innings now. First pitch to the screen by Horton, and the pitch to Joe Nelson. Royals putting together 2 runs and 4 hits in the third inning to take the lead. Left-hander Horton comes in with a strike here, and it's 2-1. Nelson grounded back to the pitcher Horton in his first at-bat. Takes this one inside, and the count goes to 3-1. And Horton's going to get a visit here. Pitched pretty well. It's been a little inconsistent at time with his pitch location, but sometimes it's a matter of just slowing down and communicating with your catcher and finding the right spot, trying to find that sweet spot. But overall, not a bad outing. But wants to get through this one cleanly. They've not had a 1-2-3 inning yet in this game. Walk and a hit batsman back in the second inning. Single in the first, and then those 4 hits last inning, and now here a walk in the fourth with 1 out to Nelson. And that brings up Cook. We talked about Cook and what a great hitter he has been so far this season, and he didn't disappoint in that first at bat with a double. Horton's first pitch to him is low. And in the dirt, blocked by White-Cowton, and it's 2-0. That might be it for Horton. He gets 2 visits to the mound, and he is going to come out. Mitchell Scott is going to come on and pitch. We've got a pitching change. We'll take a break. Come back. Horton coming out. Scott coming in. More baseball from Hopkins in a moment. The Royals leading Maple Grove 2-1. Back after a pitching change after this timeout.
Not long ago, Albert couldn't take long walks. He was diagnosed with a bad heart. After considering all the treatment options, his heart specialist recommended a pacemaker instead of putting him to sleep. Get the facts about animal research.
What does being involved really mean? Is it making grilled cheese sandwiches for a sleepover? Staying for the curtain call at the talent show? Or learning the names of their favorite bands? Believe it or not, right now there are parents just like you out there talking about things like this. From school to home, from friends to futures. And we'd like you to be a part of it. National PTA, every child, one voice.
What do you want from the all-powerful Oz?
A brain. People wonder how I got to be the all-knowing Wizard of Oz. I go to USA.gov, the official source for government info.
Pick up the student loan form to your right. Next!
I want to go back to Kansas.
Oh, that's a toughie. Back to USA.gov, passport applications.
For federal and state government information, there's no place like USA.gov.
Mitchell Scott is on in relief. Bubba Horton pitching to John Cook here. A strike call. Scott on the season, 4 1/3 innings, played in now 3 games, 0-1 record. 3 hits allowed, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. There's ball 4 to Cook. They'll be charged to Horton, and runner Nelson down to second, Cook to first. Still just 1 out, back to the top of the order for Hopkins and Max Wiesner. Way up high to Wiesner, ball 1. Grounded to third. And get 1 out at second and a first double play. Vogel, McMahon, and Erickson on the 5-4-3 double play to end the 4th inning, the top of the 4th inning. Nicely done by the pitcher Scott, and well played in the field. And the Royals are out on the top of the 4th. No runs, no hits. They lead 1. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 2-1 Hopkins.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source. We are back at Hopkins High School.
Bottom half of the fourth inning. Nice defensive play by Maple Grove to get out of that top of the fourth inning. The 5-4-3 double play to keep this a 2-1 game. Isaac Collins will lead it off for the Crimson. It'll be followed by White Cotton and Vogel. Falkert has retired the last 6 batters after the leadoff single by Vogel in the second rather. Collins called out on strikes in the first. Cut and a miss. The pitch from Falkert low in the strike zone. Two grounded to the left side. Man, unable to handle it at first base on the low throw was Copples. Wickland didn't get the throw strong enough to the back. It'll be an E6, allowing Collins to reach her first error of the game. Collins slipped coming out of the box a little bit too. If Wickland has a good throw, he beats Collins, and Copples unable to come up with it cleanly. I'm sure a play he feels he should have made too, but the throw bounced to him, so the error will go on the shortstop, Wickland. Collins is aboard to start the home half of the fourth inning. A first pitch strike to White Cotton. Collins with good speed at first base for this second pitch is missed by Falkert. It's 1-1. Now throw at first. They try to hold him close, and it gets away all the way to the fence. Collins around second, digging for third, and he'll get there. Well, they respect the speed of Collins at first, but a bad throw to the bag, and Isaac all the way to third base. So 2 errors to start the inning for Hopkins has put Collins in scoring position down at third. There on Falkert. Run at third, nobody out. Upside to White Cotton. Missed inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. So Maple Grove started strong here in the fourth inning. Foul at the plate. Falkert's pitch just got a piece of it and not hung on to. So White Cotton able to stay alive. Foul back. Popped up, foul territory toward the Hopkins dugout. Now drifting back toward fair territory. A great effort by Tommy Gleason to make the out. Looks like he wasn't going to get back to that one. And White Cotton able to stay alive. It's Gleason with a glove on the ball, but unable to come up with it. So Hopkins really hurting itself here with mistakes this inning. Now this one dropped. They'll go to first to finally get the put out at the bag. Collins will hold on at third. So White Cotton had a couple of chances. There was a foul tip that was dropped, and then the pop-up in foul territory that was dropped. And now finally this one. The catcher Wiesner looking at third, making sure Collins wasn't coming home, and then he throws to first. So they get the strikeout of White Cotton, and then the put out 2-3, and finally the first out here in the fourth inning. Inside part of the plate for a strike to Matt Vogel and an infield single, and run scored for Maple Grove in the second. Trying to bring home Collins with the tying run here now in the fourth. Another strike with fastball, and Palkert working ahead 0-2. Oh, and he hit him. Wow. Also caught a bit of the catcher Wiesner, who's stung a little bit by that. And Vogel's aboard at first. Wow, an 0-2 pitch. So now runners at the corners, one out for Maple Grove, and Nate Erickson, the batter. These are the innings. If you're Maple Grove, you hope you can take advantage of where Hopkins making some mistakes in the field. The error on the first ball hit by Collins, and White Cotton, although he struck out, they made a couple of misplays during that at bat. Then hitting Vogel in the 0-2 pitch. He goes down here uncontested and will get second base. And now moves into scoring position. He's at second, Collins at third. One out, and a chance for Erickson, who leads the team in RBIs early in the season with 3, to drive in a couple here with a base hit. Palkert's pitch to him, cut the miss. Erickson with a strong season in hockey this past winter for Maple Grove. Behind in the count here to Palkert, who's pitched well today for Hopkins in 3+ innings. Cut and a miss, and he goes down on strikes. Second strikeout of the inning by Palkert, and now his 5th of the game. Got Erickson to chase that high pitch. And now Palkert trying to work out of this jam here in the fourth. We'll go to work on Kyle Anderson, the DH. Fastball high for ball 1. Anderson grounded out in his first at bat, but put the ball in play and drove home Vogel from third base. Hit the only RBI so far for the Crimson. Palkert missing inside here, and he's behind 2-0. Grounded down to short. Niedorf up with it, throwing the Coppels, and they get the out. And Palkert able to work out of trouble after Collins had gotten to third with nobody out. For Maple Grove in the fourth inning, no runs, no hits, 2 Hopkins errors, and 2 runners left on. We'll go to the 5th inning. Our score remains Hopkins 2, Maple Grove 1.
It must be love. It must be hospice.
Maple Grove, New Hope, and Brooklyn Center. Channel 12 is your local source.
When it comes to TV channels, you've got choices. As a matter of fact, you've got lots of choices. But only one channel is your local source in your community every day, bringing you the news, sports, events, and city information that affect you. So seek out the source. Channel 12, 30 years your local source.
John Jacobson back with you here at Hopkins High School. The Royals take a 2-1 lead to the top half of the 5th inning. Late Friday afternoon, early evening now. First full inning of work on the mound for Maple Grove's Mitchell Scott, who came on in relief for Bubba Horton there in the 4th. Got the double play of Wiesner to end the inning. He'll face Wickland, Copples, and Ottman here in the 5th. First pitch outside and missing to Wickland. Yeah, that one drops in for a strike. Good start for Mitchell Scott here in the top half of the 5th inning. Wickland 0 for 2 on the day. Fouls this one at the plate. In the dirt. Count evens up on Wickland. And Scott's pitch to him. Another low one. Foul back. A little bit high, and he walks Wickland after getting ahead in the count. Eric Wickland able to draw a leadoff walk here in the 5th. Brings up Jimmy Copples, 1 for 2 on the day. First time Scott has faced him. Throw to first, and just getting in under the tag was Wickland. Crimson fans thought they missed that one. He's really quick back to first base. Throw to first again. Wickland back in safely again. This one not quite as close as the previous pitch. Copples patiently waiting for a pitch. Now delivered by Scott. Nicely dropped in for a strike. Copples drove in what was the tying run at the time with a single in the 3rd. Brought home John Cook. The 2-out single. It's this one past the mound. Collins at short. They go the short way to second base. Get the force out there. On the throw to McMahon, Wickland forced. Copples aboard at first on the fielder's choice. Now past Scott, Collins, there wasn't going to be time for a double play here, and he still had to hurry even to get Wickland. But able to make the play, a 6-4 force out of Wickland. Runner at first with 1 away. And a first pitch strike to Logan Ottman. Flew to left in the 1st, a single in the 3rd. Grounded back to Scott. He'll go to second. Oh, Collins unable to come up with it, and everybody's safe. A little bit of a low throw, but it was in his glove. Couldn't make the play. It'd have been an error on Collins, and everybody's safe. Copples at second and Ottman at first. Scott was hoping to get the double play here. Turn by a little bit low, but certainly one that Collins had in his glove and should have made the play on for a minimum 1 out. But as it is, they get no outs on the play. First error on Maple Grove. And 2 aboard with Gallup the batter. Left-handed hitting heavy lineup for Hopkins, bringing another lefty Gallup to the plate here. He's been on twice, drove in the go-ahead run back in the third. Laced out into left field, a little hang up in the air. Matheson making the catch, gets it back into the infield, and there's 2 down. And the batter's Gleason. Tommy with a walk in 2 at-bats, fouls the first pitch from Scott back to the screen. And an inside corner strike. Gleason thought that was inside and low. Looked back briefly to the home plate umpire. Scott had 0-2, trying to get out of trouble here in the 5th. Oh, nice pitch, but just a touch outside. I think he might have dropped one on the outside corner, but outside it's 1-2. Works quickly, Scott does. Fouled back by Gleason, and the count remains 1-2. Into center field, that'll be a base hit. It'll be an RBI single. They were initially holding the runner, and boy, I got called out a little soon. I got it right, but there's a closer play at the plate than I originally thought. Copples is safe at home. Dropping in front of Keeblebeck. And Keeblebeck bobbled a little bit because Copples doesn't run terribly well for a big man, so they held him at third and then throw home, and they thought they had the out there, and Copples getting just under the tag of Whitecott, and Darby Carlson coming out and arguing didn't think that was a very good call. Gleason gets credit for a run batted in. Look at it again. Boy, look, it is very close. Looks like he might have gotten the tag on the backside. Copples gets in. Niedorf to second. Nice play at second base by McMahon to flip to Collins to force Gleason at second base to end the inning. Good defensive play by Maple Grove to end it, but Hopkins taking advantage of an error in the middle of the inning there. They get a run on a hit, an error, and 2 left on for Hopkins. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Royals have added to their lead. 3-1 our score.
Hi, I'm here to tell you about a new medical website designed especially for older folks. Website, you say? I can't work on computers. They're not senior friendly, blah, blah, blah. But the National Institutes of Health fixed all that. Now you can make the type bigger, increase contrast, even make it talk to you.
Arthritis.
Just go to NIHseniorhealth.gov and get the best medical information available anywhere. NIHseniorhealth.gov. Built with you in mind.
So the fans watching from not too far away here near the Lindbergh Center. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Maple Grove now down by 2 runs. And the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Mason McMahon with a nice play defensively to end the top half of the inning. He'll be followed by Austin Matheson and Adam Brandt. Falkirk's missed with the first couple of pitches here in the 5th. McMahon trying to get Grove started in the home half of the inning. 3-0. Falkirk's hit a batter, but hasn't walked anyone to this point. But he's behind 3-0 here. Strike call. He struck out 5. Falkirk has allowed 2 hits, but none since the 2nd inning. Three and 2. Cut and a miss, so nice job. Held on nicely by Wiesner as McMahon got a piece of it, but the foul tip hung on to this time by Wiesner, and he gets the strikeout of McMahon. So now six strikeouts for Falkirk in 4 1/3 innings. And the batter's Matheson grounded out to first in his own lone at bat today. He had a called strike. Held back. Oh. And that one caught Matheson right in the helmet. Ducked out of the way, so didn't catch him quite. I mean, he caught him square, but he was at least ducking away from the pitch, so it could have been much worse than that. He didn't seem to show any ill effects, and he shakes it off, gets down to first base. So the second hit batsman of the game for Falkirk gives Maple Grove a base runner with 1 out here in the 5th. Strike call to Brandt. Bounce to the plate. Wiesner gets it. The throw down to second into the stolen base is Matheson. Probably actually credit would be a wild pitch would be the correct call on that, allowing Matheson to get to second. When he was alert, he saw that that pitch wasn't caught cleanly and got down to second. So he's in scoring position here with 1 out in the 5th. Strike to Brandt. One ball, 2 strikes. Called strike 3, and Brandt knew it. Strikeout number 2 of him today. And now at least 2 strikeouts in each of the last 3 innings for Falkirk. Remember, he had 10 strikeouts in 7 innings coming in. He's got 7 so far today in 4 2/3. And now Keeblebeck, the batter. Inside, ball 1. Called strike. 1-1 pitch. Chase that one. It's 1-2. Grounded to the right side. Picked up cleanly by Niedorf. Throws on the Couples, and Keelback and the Crimson retired in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. The Crimson have stranded 4. And we go to the top of the 6th inning here at Hopkins. Our score, Hopkins 3, Maple Grove 1.
What do you want from the all-powerful Oz?
A brain. People wonder how I got to be the all-knowing Wizard of Oz. I go to USA.gov, the official source for government info.
Pick up the student loan form to your right. Next!
I want to go back to Kansas.
Oh, that's a toughie. Back to USA.gov, passport applications.
For federal and state government information, there's no place like USA.gov.
The American Heart Association says for every hour of regular vigorous exercise we do, like very brisk walking, we could live 2 hours longer. Imagine, if we walked to the moon and back, we could live forever. Find out about the upcoming American Heart Association Start Heart Walk in your area. Walk with your coworkers, friends, and family.
Go to the top half of the 6th inning. Hopkins Royals holding a 2-run lead on Maple Grove. It's Scott. He'll go to work on the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Hopkins. Joe Nelson, John Cook, and Max Wiesner. Nelson, Cook, Wiesner, all of those guys have been on at least once today. And good balance for Hopkins, although they have just 3 runs. 8 of their 9 batters have been on base at least one time. There's a problem with the bag at second base, so they're replacing that right now. A little bit of a delay as we come back to the top of the inning. Each of these teams after their 3rd consecutive victory. Hopkins from here will start Lake Conference play Monday. They'll host Edina. And then be home to take on Jefferson Tuesday, and then a game at Eden Prairie on Wednesday. For Maple Grove, back into conference play tomorrow, a morning game Saturday against Osseo, and then Monday at Andover. And they'll take on Elk River at home on Wednesday the 30th. It's assuming that Maple Grove field is playable by tomorrow morning. Extra hours of sun and wind will make it ready to go tomorrow against Osseo. Well, Scott trying to keep this one a 3-1 game. Nelson falling behind in the count, the leadoff hitter, the left fielder. Cutting a miss. And he strikes out Nelson to start the 6th inning. Good start for Mitchell Scott here in the 6th inning, excuse me. This is the 2nd time the leadoff hitter has been retired for Hopkins today in 6 innings. Grounded foul. Past 3rd by John Cook. Cook a double and a walk in 2 at-bats. He was in the middle of his at-bat when Horton got lifted and Scott came in. That was the walk after he had doubled and scored in the third. One pitch. Grounded to short. Collins had to come up on him a little bit. Makes the throw to first and safe at first. Stretch at first base by Erickson. But Cook is able to beat it out. Take a look at it again. Unless it wasn't fielded cleanly, it looked like Erickson had it. It was hard. His body was shielded from where I am here. I don't know if he didn't quite get it cleanly or just beat the throw. Regardless, Cook is aboard. Wiesner the batter, the throw to first. Cook gets back in. Scott's got a pretty good move over to the bag. This one hit in the hole. Collins over there makes the play. Throw to first. Nicely done to Erickson. Strong throw by Isaac Collins. And gets it to Erickson for out number 2. Good play by Collins. Ranging toward third. And able to get Wiesner. 6-3 in the putout, 2 away. Cook had the infield single in scoring position at second with 2 outs, and the first pitch strike to Wickland. One ball, 1 strike. Scott would like to get out of this and not have to face Copples, who's up next. Changeup, good pitch, strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Scott's pitch, grounded down to third. Throw across the diamond by Vogel to Erickson. And Wickland and Hopkins out in the 6th inning. So the 1-out single does not hurt Maple Grove. No runs on a hit. No errors, 1 left. Hopkins is stranded at least a runner in every inning and remains 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
A Brooklyn Park church received some unwelcome visitors this past weekend.
Volunteers really do have their work cut out for them. They'll be inspecting 23,000 residential lots and city boulevards.
The problem began when the railroad decided to increase the train's speed. In the process, they had to raise a portion of the track over here.
Fire crews got a call around 4 Friday morning from a passerby alerting them to a deck fire.
This time, little lob for Winicky, trying to go up and get it. Touchdown!
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
A brisk afternoon, the wind, temperature in the low 60s. It's a sunny day. The first pitch grounded by Isaac Collins. Nicely played over toward the bag by Wickland, and he's able to throw out Collins for the first out in the bottom of the 6th. So quickly 1 down, 1 pitch, 1 out in the home half of the 6th. And White Cotton the batter. Bjalkert has gone all the way. He's pitched well, grounded to third on a pitch. How about that for Hopkins defense? Gleason to Copples and quickly 2 down. Gleason with his first chance today and fields it cleanly. 2 pitches, 2 outs. And the batter's Vogel. Vogel's been on twice today. First pitch strike to him. Cutting a miss. Up high, 1-2. I'll look back at my book. Brandt with a single in the top of the first for Maple Grove. That is the only ball the Crimson have hit to the outfield. And the infield single by Vogel in the second. And those are the only 2 hits. Had a couple base runners via hit batsman and the error in the fourth, but they have not been able to get it past the infield with the exception of Brandt at the start of the first. This one grounded to third. Gleason another chance. And a very quick 1-2-3 inning. Calkert has been outstanding today. And he retires Maple Grove in order in the 6th. We go to the 7th inning. Our score continues to be Hopkins 3, Maple Grove 1. You're watching high school baseball on Channel 12 Sport.
Yeah, but did you see how much he had to drink last night? I can't believe that guy made it home. Nobody drives drunk anymore. Hold on, I got another call coming in.
While drunk driving rates have dropped greatly, negligent driving and speeding fatalities have skyrocketed. Someone dies every 13 minutes from negligent driving, so keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and your phone put away.
The environment is my passion. Every day, I live for the outdoors and all of its challenges. That's why I enlisted in the Coast Guard. Now, I serve to protect the environment and defend my country. It's like I was born for this.
Were you born ready for a greater challenge? Find out at gocoastguard.com.
3-1 Hopkins as we go to the top half of the 7th inning. Mitchell Scott tried to close it out here. He's pitched 2 2/3 innings of relief. Allowed 1 unearned run and a couple of hits. There's a strikeout. You don't go to work on the heart of the order, though, for Hopkins here in the 7th. Copples, Ottman, and Gallup, 3, 4, 5 hitters. First pitch strike to Jimmy Copples. Copples has scored 2 of the 3 runs today for Hopkins. A little slow roller right side. Tough play. Nice job by Scott to cover the bag. And they get the out at first. Erickson to Scott covering, and Copples is retired. One more look at it, kind of that sometimes no man's land, but Scott didn't hesitate at all. Knew that Erickson wouldn't be able to get back to the bag himself, likely to cover it. Got to first, and they retire Copples 3-1. First pitch strike to Ottman. Pitch is high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And hit well into center field. It's a 1-out single for Ottman here in the 7th inning. Second base hit today. 3rd time overall he's been on. And the batter's Josh Gallup. Laced down the left field line. Will it stay fair? It is a fair ball. Stopping at second is Ottman. And back-to-back singles for Hopkins. Gallup's got his second hit of the day. Here's Gleason. Chopper to third. Tough hop, but nicely played by Vogel. Throw to first, and they get the out. Runners move up a base, but a good play by Vogel. Gets the base runner Gleason at first for out number 2. Sam Niedorf, the batter. Ottman at third, Gallup at second. 2 away here in the top of the 7th. First pitch strike to Niedorf. Laced into right field just over Erickson's head. A base hit. 2 runs will score, and it's 5-1 Hopkins on a 2-out single for Niedorf. He was the lone guy in the batting order who had not been aboard today, and he comes out with a big 2-run single here with 2 outs in the 7th. So even a little more cushion for the pitcher Palkert now. He'll go to work with a minimum of a 4-run lead in the bottom of the 7th inning, assuming he comes back out again. As Joe Nelson comes to the plate. Nelson a walk in 3 at-bats. Foul at the plate. Scott works ahead, 2 strikes. Throw down to first, and Erickson stretching into foul territory to make sure he grabbed that one. Cut and a miss. Good pitch by Scott. Pitchers have pitched pretty well for Maple Grove, although they've given up 5 runs. They've cobbled together 7 good innings. But their team trailing, not able to get much going so far in the first 6 innings against Robbie Palkert. They'll try to do it here in the 7th. 6.5 played. Hopkins with 2 runs in that inning. They now lead it 5-1.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
E-File. Get receipt confirmation and a quicker refund. Log on or tell your tax preparer to e-file for you and join the 53 million e-filers who consider it done.
Shadows coming across the field here at Hopkins as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Robbie Palkert looking for his 2nd complete game victory of the season, and he's got a 5-1 lead. Palkert at first start, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run allowed, and 10 strikeouts, and he's got the 1 run allowed today and 2 hits so far. Facing Nate Erickson to start the 7th. 7 strikeouts so far in the game for Palkert through 6 innings. Erickson ahead in the count, though. They're going to get a rally going for Maple Grove here in the home half of the 7th. Anderson and McMahon, the scheduled hitters behind Erickson here in the 7th. And leadoff runner aboard for Erickson. Well, the infielders will come in and say, hey, you know, that's just one. Still got a good lead. Let's finish it out here. Batter is Anderson. And Kyle, the DH today, 0 for 2 on the day. Did drive in a run, the only run for Maple Grove with a ground out back in the 2nd. Erickson aboard with that leadoff walk. And there's a strike after 5 bad ones to start the inning for Palkert. Was the first walk he's given up. He's hit 2 batters. Anytime you can get a complete game, especially when the games start to build up because of rainouts and bad weather, that's a bonus for your team and your pitching staff. Strike call to Anderson. Sean Williams is warming up for Hopkins if Palkert can't close this one out. Fastball missed a little high. 3-2 now to Anderson. Go to first. Erickson back in. Foul tip caught, and the strikeout of Anderson by Palkert is 8th, and there's one away in the 7th. So Palkert comes back, gets the strikeout, avoids the back-to-back walks, getting the strikeout on the 3-2 pitch, and now we'll go to work on Mason McMahon. Grounds it to second. Niedorf up with the tags the runner, throws on to first, a double play to end the game. 4-3 double play, and Hopkins wins it. A nice play by Sam Niedorf. He gets the runner Erickson going by. As you look at it again, makes the tag, throws on to first to Coppels, and they retire McMahon and the Crimson in the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. A second complete game of the season for Robbie Palkert. Again, very strong, allows just 1 run, strikes out 8 for his 2nd win. And for Hopkins overall, their 3rd win in a row. They improve to 4-3 on the season. And they had the 4 hits that they were able to string together in the 3rd inning to put a couple of runs up, and then adding 2 more there in the 7th along with the solo run in the 5th, and they win it. Maple Grove with the loss drops to 2-4, just 2 hits on the day for the Crimson. Palkert able to stifle the Crimson bats. Well, that'll do it for our telecast today from Hopkins. Hope you've enjoyed it. For all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Final score again, the Hopkins Royals win it over Maple Grove 5-1.